back to another video. Today we have something a little bit different. A couple days ago I ordered all these Christmas lights on Amazon, and I think the plan is to install them on my S1000. It should be relatively easy because the lights that I ordered, I made sure to order ones with a USB port. Now the reason that I chose the ones with the USB port is on my S1000 it comes factory with a USB receiver, USB port. So I think all we should have to do is plug this USB into the port and it should power the lights. I don't know exactly how I want to lay them out on the bike. I don't know how far the lights will stretch on either side of the bike, and I want it to be mirrored on either side. So I think my plan is to stretch the lights out all the way, mark the lights halfway with a piece of tape. I'm going to lay them out on one side using, I believe the plan is to use this electrical tape to lay them out on one side, and then try and get the piece of tape in the center to line up with the center on the front of the bike as I go across, and then I'll use the other half and mirror it on the other side, and hopefully it comes out looking good. I know a lot of people talk about when they put Christmas lights on their car and put tape on the car, everyone always talks about how it'll scratch your paint or the tape will leave residue. Luckily these are like my beater S1000 fairings. It's kind of hard to see, but the bike has been dropped a couple of times, so there's scratches all over. So I'm not too worried about these fairings, plus I have a whole nother set of S1000 fairings up there, so if it does go catastrophically wrong and it destroys the paint, I have a backup plan. I'm going to lay these out and try and find the center, and then we'll toss them on. Alright, so we laid the lights out all the way down the driveway, and then basically we just folded them in half, and that gives us our middle right here. Basically, I'm going to lay out one whole side, going back and forth, trying to cover as much as possible. And this piece of tape, whenever I go across the front, it should land right about in the middle, so we have the same amount of lights. Oh, I'm stepping on them. So we have the same amount of lights on either side of the bike, so that it looks the same. I'm going to put it up on the stand just so that as we put the lights on, it's a little bit easier to access all the sides. Let's run. I'm going to run a little test real fast because I haven't tested these lights yet. I want to make sure that they're going to work. So we should just be able to, the plan is just plug them in back here, like that. And then I think the key needs to be on. I should just be able to press this button. Beautiful. And then those, just imagine them right there. I think it'll look good. I don't know exactly how I want to lay them out. So I'm going to figure out the layout and I'll start tossing them. We've been using the electrical tape, but as you can see, the electrical tape is just too weak to hold on the lights, and I'm gonna ride the bike around once we get all the lights on, and if the tape's already coming off while it's just sitting here in the garage, it's definitely not gonna be strong enough to actually ride with. So I think we're gonna have to throw away the idea of the electrical tape. So we ran to the store and we picked up two different types of tape. We have this Gorilla, I don't know, just two kinds of tape that look strong. I bought two different rolls because it made me so angry putting it on with the electrical tape and it coming off. I had to make sure to get two just in case one didn't work. So out with the electrical tape. We'll try these and see how it goes. So that was a lot of work. We're slowly starting to figure it out. I have about, I'd say we're about 40% done. I have lights from the tail up the side here and then all the way down to the bottom, but I have a lot left till I get to the middle. So I think I'm going to do a second layer back through and try and end up there. I have my helper here cutting tape, and then as she cuts tape, I grab the tape from her and then toss it on. But we're slowly making progress. It's looking good. I accidentally pulled the tape off already, but that lines up pretty much perfectly. So now, all we have to do is just mirror this on the other side, and it'll be mint. But progress is going good. It's a little bit slower than I thought, and this other tape scares me a little bit because it's peeling off ever so slightly, but I think I'm gonna run back through with a heat gun maybe to try and heat it up and soften up the adhesive a little bit, or maybe we'll just add more tape. And my helper has even more tape now. We finally got every single light on. Some of the tape is peeling off a hair. So I think I'm gonna run through, like I said earlier, I'm gonna run through everything and just hit all the pieces of tape with a heat gun. And then I'm gonna run back with a couple more pieces of tape, and anywhere where there's a loose end, kind of like this, I don't know, there's a bunch of loose ends everywhere. I'm gonna tape them down again. I really think I should have cleaned the bike off beforehand, and Eleanor was sticking it to her skin, which I think some of the oils may have made this tape not stick as good. If I had to do it again, I think I would run through beforehand and clean the bike really good with soap, or before I set down a piece of tape, clean the bike off with rubbing alcohol to make sure that there's no oil on the bike. And then instead of sticking the tape down on skin to hold it, either just cut the tape as we go, or stick it on like an actual object like the bike or something that it's not producing oils that would unstick the tape. But yeah, so I'm gonna run back through, make sure everything is good, because the next thing that we have to do is ride the bike, and I don't want any of the lights flying off. So I'm gonna make sure it's perfect so we can go ride. So at this point, I've basically probably tripled the tape on this side. I'm going through, and pretty much anywhere where there's a piece of tape that looks like it might be exposed to any sort of fast moving air, I put another piece of tape directly over that piece of tape, especially here at the front. That's kind of gotten therapeutic where I'm literally just sitting here with my tape roll, kind of running out, but I just take a piece of tape off, smack it wherever I think, because whenever we're out shooting rollers, I do not want any pieces coming off, because that would be catastrophic. So hopefully I fix it here in the garage and we don't have to worry about it out on the road. All right, we finally got every last light on the S1000. All that is left now to do is get the first look at it. Oh my God, that looks insane. That looks wild. Eleanor?
It's beautiful.
It really is. So this is only 100 lights. I think next year I might order another light strip and try and get a double USB dongle so that we can hook up 2 strips so that it'll be even brighter. Because even just the 100 lights look sick. Is that the coolest thing you've ever seen?
Sure is. I love Christmas.
I think all that we have left to do is film some rollers, because I'm gonna go ride this thing down the highway and through the city. We'll get some people's reactions, and I'll probably pop a couple of wheelies on it because I want to see what it looks like popped up in the air with the Christmas lights. This thing is just so sick. And man, did those rollers turn out amazing. Shout out to Christian for shooting those rollers. He always kills it on the rollers. And I'm gonna go ahead and claim it first ever wheelie with Christmas lights on an S1000. But that's pretty much everything that I have for this video. Super happy with how this turned out. Next year, the only thing that I think I'm going to do different is I want to do more lights. Like I said, I want to do a double dongle so that I can just run twice as many lights, that it's twice as bright. And I think it'll turn out super cool. Thank you so much for watching. For anyone that didn't notice, this is my very first long-form YouTube video. And I'm going to start posting more of them, so make sure that you guys are subscribed and let me know what do you want me to do next on my S1000, or I now have the V4. Let me know what you want me to do on the V4. But that's all that I got for you guys today. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.